I'm Shannon Thrasher, and this is 30-Second Tactics. Today, we're going to talk about magazines for AR-15s. So, the first thing you need to think about with your AR-15 is, if you have a regular, say random handgun, like you have a Glock handgun, you're probably running Glock magazines in it. Now, there's a couple companies, Magpul and others, that will do other things. If you're running a SIG, you're probably running SIG magazines. If you're running a Beretta, you're running Beretta magazines, etc. But when it comes to AR-15s, and of course there's, Lord knows, 20, 30 different ones out there right now. They may come with one magazine, but if you want 10 or 20 or whatever you want, you're going to have to buy aftermarket mags. So in almost every case, handguns, you're just going to run what, was made for them. But with ARs, you have a lot of choices. So what's some of the main choices and what's some of the advantages and what's my opinion? So first of all, we got the generic, very common aluminum mag that's been developed forever. It started as a 20 rounder in the 60s, and then they come out with a 30 rounder. It's what's commonly referred to as a GI mag. Personally, I think these are great. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. They're cheap enough that if they do wear out after years of abuse, you just wrap some tape around them and throw them in there as a range one or whatever. I've seen a lot of them, they'll write bad right down the side, make sure they don't use them again. So I don't think there's anything wrong with these. There's another, when you go to your polymer magazines, and this is a PMag, there's only two brands, this is just me speaking, but there's only two brands of polymer magazines that I will trust. And one of them is the PMag, and again, there's probably some guys watching this video that hate PMags and love GI mags, or hate GI mags and love PMags. But, these have been around enough. They've gone through the military trials and stuff. They're not perfect, but they're tough. One disadvantage, or could be a disadvantage if you're running these, is they're a little thicker than the GI mag. So if you had like a molded holder for them, holster or whatever, it might not quite work or it might stick or anything, but that's something, just adapt your gear properly. Of course, PMag has the ones with the windows and the ones without the windows. Personally, I don't care. I don't see that the window is a great advantage. This one happens to have it. If you like the window, get the window. The other polymer mags that I like, and this one just happens to be a 20 rounder, are Lancer. Again, good quality mag. They make, for the AR-15, they make them, the 308 for the AR-10 styles. Like I said, me personally, from my experience, years of shooting everything, if I was going to run a polymer mag, it'd either be a PMag or a Lancer. There are a bunch of polymer and plastic mags out there that are cheaper. And I don't just mean in price. I mean, there are some cheap, nasty, junky mags out there. I'm not going to name names because, somebody might have had a lot of luck with those. But I've literally used a Leatherman tool to rip parts of magazines out of magazine wells with some of these lesser brands. So I would avoid those. Another one, when it comes to your metal mags, and you probably can't even tell on the video, but these are not real common, but this is the HK mag, Heckler and Koch, or Koch, or however you want to pronounce it. When HK came out with their 416, they're pretty much the first one was a successful piston AR. They came out with these mags. These are really nice, high quality metal mags. When you can find them. I've seen them for 50, 75 bucks a piece when you can find them versus 10, 20 bucks for other ones. And again, everything's a little different. If you look at the GI mag and the HK mag, for some reason, the HK mag is a little bit longer, which again, if you have very specific gear that you carry them in, that might be an issue. So consider that. The other thing you think about is they have these high capacity mags. This is the Surefire 60 round. I like Surefire as a company. They make some amazing products, good flashlights, good suppressors. My personal experience, I'm not happy with these. They have the 60 and the 100. I've had several examples of each, and they've both been, let's just say, not great. And of course, there's the drums and other stuff going on. But anyway, guys, that's just a real quick breakdown of what's available and what I think is good. If you're running GI mags or Lancer mags or PMags, I don't think you'll have an issue. Figure out what you like, figure out what you can afford, run those. And like I said, kind of alluded to at the beginning, if you're out training or on a mission or whatever and you have a mag that starts creating malfunctions, don't be afraid to pull that magazine out of the rotation, wrap some tape around it, magic marker, whatever. Don't let that bad mag end up with a bad gun later when you really need it. So guys, that's what I have for you this time. As always, work, train, repeat. Stay safe.